Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian report for the 5th of May. I want to start with the US markets though, because it's the one that's pulling all the other markets around. So we need to, really bring the US into our own local markets, whatever local markets they may be in Asia. So with the US markets, we've been counting 5 waves up. And then we've had this pullback here, which we've also seen in India, Australia, and so on. And in this case, we're looking for wave A, wave B, and wave C here for wave 2, and then moving up higher. Now, even if I've got this wrong, and I would be wrong in that the market could just continue down through here in a much more of a larger bear market, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But what I want to say is that with these Asian markets, we have also pulled down through here, and we're also looking to rally now, and then we're going to pull down here at this point. So that's all I sort of really know at this particular stage. But yeah, just taking this on board here. Also too, with this particular move here, if I just go through to the hourly chart here, what I want to do here is just mention that with this particular, with the S&P here, we've rallied up this far here. With the NASDAQ, we've actually rallied up a bit higher here in its move here. So the NASDAQ is leading the way up. So it's probably a bit more important to follow the NASDAQ in this instance. So in a nutshell, we're looking for a move up. This may not get all the way up here, may just get to here somewhere and then roll over from that point there. So because we've got 5 waves here, we'll get 3 waves here and then a move down from that point. So when we're looking at Australia here, we can look at this move here. This is the 4-hour chart, but we can look for the move here. We're looking for a rally to move back up to the 61.8% mark, and we're pretty close to that. We're at the 50% retracement level at the current top here. So we should see another move down here. So in between B and C here, I was looking for, well, there's 2 ways we could approach this. We could put wave C over here, and that means that we would have wave 3, would have 1, 2, 3 here, and then we would have wave 4 and wave 5, because we would need 5 waves for wave C here. The other way here is that we've already completed wave C here, and we're in here. So, but we would need to move up past if this is the 61.8% retracement level, we would need to move up past that. In that regard, would have to find that as support. So I'm not really sure which way we're going to go with this. Actually, this top here in the US markets made the high here, and in other markets around Asia, but here we didn't make the high here. And I can I could count 5 waves down here, and then we could count this as a ABC pattern through here. So I'm quite happy with this as an A and a B and a C wave here. It's just that I'm a bit hesitant to call that in like that, because the US market's still got one more leg to go down. So I'm really not sure how to present this. I mean, none of this pattern here has worked out nicely. If we're looking for 5 waves up here like we are in the US markets, then we'll look up here for 1 and 2 here, then 3 here, then ABC here for 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1, and this would be an A and a B and a C coming back here for wave 2 here, but that would also give us 5 waves back at this point. So yes, I'm not really sure about this, but obviously the US market's going to pull things around a little bit, so we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. I just wanted to kind of introduce that a little bit. So we've either got wave on the hourly chart here, we've got 5 waves down here. We'll look at that in a bit more detail a bit later, but we have a C or B here. All we need to look at this is wave 1 here and wave 2 here. And the US markets are up over 1%, well, the NASDAQ was, and this market, took off quite nicely, but it's been struggling through most of the NASDAQ's move to the upside here. So maybe it is topping out here. But we do have an impulse wave here that I can clearly see. This here gets a little bit complicated, and we'll check that out. But like I said, so to be long here, just to say, we would need to have support, a nice tested support on 5,400, and we would need that classic trading levels pattern coming up here, the arrival, this sort of thing sitting here would need that setup to go long at that point. So this could be a point where it turns down from here, and not just yet though, because the US market is not finished to the upside. It's got another session to the upside. So we'd probably need to see this market struggle up here and have that first high above the level there, but then not get back up there and then move down from that point. You know what I mean? So be very careful up here, about going long. And if you're short going in this space here, use less contracts and have a wider stop. And we can see how we look at that, but let's just move into the 15-minute chart. So there's a problem we've got sorting this little bit out through here. So yesterday we were counting 5 waves down. Didn't quite come down to the 5-1, found support. What I can say is this move up through here has is 5 waves. So let's just label this here. We can label that wave A here. Now this gets quite interesting because this move down through here is, I could label that as B here. And this C wave, if we're going to put this as a C wave here, and look, this is probably not right, but we could look at this as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then going up for wave 3 here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then computer's just changing over. So that would be like wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, topping here, and we'll get something like this here. And then we can look to go short at that point. So that's really about the best I can do for us at this particular point. So let's just allow this to, obviously we're going to be moving up today, so we'll just allow that to move up, and we should be rolling over from this point here. But like I said, if we get support here on this level here, that would require the classic trading levels pattern, which if I can just get a picture of that up for us, which is this one here. So just imagine that's the 5,400. We need the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the corrective move, then support, and then we can go long here. We can look to add to positions on these highs here as the market goes through. The variation on this, of course, is where it doesn't drop below here, and it looks like this here. So a much squarer price action here, where we have the arrival, the reaction, first high above, then it sits on here. So then we normally use the first high above the level as the entry point, then this one here also as an entry point. So we can basically build into the next trend over here, but it doesn't drop below here. But we never get caught out because we always take these highs here in both cases. So even these ones, he will take this high, that's the first one to come in, then we wait for this one here, and then we wait to see if we can get a better entry over here closer to the level. So these are the kind of patterns that we need to see sitting at this particular level. There is one more pattern. There's not much that can really occur at a level. The other one is that where it doesn't stop here, where it has the arrival and has a reaction here, it doesn't have that. It just goes straight through there. But normally the distance above here that it shoots up is normally the distance below that it comes, just as a bit of a rule of a thumb. And then it will have a couple of swings into this level. The level becomes the balance point. So if you can imagine a triangle pattern and it finds its center of gravity, then this is the same here as well. So we just got to wait this out, but we certainly can look to short from, if you can get this right here. You'll need to see the first 5 waves down here after this tops out here, and then we can short from that point. But just a small position here with a looking to add into here, but at the same below this level, of course. But at the same time, that first high above the level, that's our first reference point for going long at that point. Let's go check out China. So with China here, the same thing here. You see how I've got this long trade sitting on top here? That's just in case it's bullish. This is all really quite messy here. Maybe there is 5 waves in here, and maybe we'll just have this here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave back to here, the same as the US markets and everything else, and then push up from there, and then we'll be able to go long here for this. You can go short here for this as well. This little, I'm not going to do it, but we'll just imagine this is 5 waves down here. We're going to have the retest of the major trading level, then we'll have a move down from that point there. So technically, you'd probably get a better crack at this on the, I'll just put this here, I'll just put that under there. You can go short from that point, but I wouldn't, there's not leaving much room there after that moves there. So what you need to do is that this little move to the upside here, this one here, we'll remove that. What you need to look for here is you look for an A wave. Sorry, the computer's just resetting for Asia. So an A and a B and a C wave here. So if you can find that second low here, that's the one to go short on, or you can just draw a line through there and go on short there as well. The other way you can look at this too is that the move down through here should have more volume in it than this move back up here. The retest should have less volume in it. If it's got less volume in it, then you know that it's corrective, and then it will move down from that point. But let's just take some of those ideas and go over to Hong Kong, because with Hong Kong here, we've been tracking 5 waves down here, and we're looking for a rally. And Hong Kong hasn't, well, it will pick up after, it will move up further now because of the the Hang Seng stock market opening and those sort of things that will push up and catch up with the NASDAQ. So how far will it go up? Will it get to this point up here? I don't know. We just need to track it up, but I'm not going to pay too much attention to it right now because it's just starting here and it needs to move up further. So this is definitely a lagging situation here. But also too, what I wanted to point out here is that we could also look at this as the A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here, the same as the US markets. We could look at that. We could squeeze, I don't like doing this, but we could squeeze it in as 1 and 2 here and 3 here, ABC for 4 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here and 5 here, and have this ABC here, and then move up from that point. So that's kind of what we need to take on board here as well. So we'll do that. In the bigger picture, this wave, this low here can be a wave C. So we'll just work through it as we can. We know that, you know, when you look at a correction, as I always say, the A wave is normally the swiftest one in the thing. So you look at this and you straight away think bearish, you know. And that's rightfully so, but you know, you need to be on that wave A, but if you can get it, because it's also the leader and it'll cover more ground faster. But this is where we'll look at this. If this wave C here comes down on more of an angle than this wave A here, then we can call it a wave C here. That will be helpful. If it's straight down here, then we'll know that it's more bearish at that point, and we can look to handle it. Also India as well. We're going to put India in the same thing as well. We had it as wave 1 here, look, and going back for wave 2, but I think we need to tie it in with the US. So we looked at 5 waves down here, and we were looking for, well, we can just put this over here now, an A and a B here. We're looking for a C wave to the upside here. So the C wave here for this will be, you might need to adjust that 61.8% to there. So we'll be looking for some sort of, it may not get all the way up there as well. And then down from that point, let's just check on this here. Just a slight adjustment. And like I said, it doesn't have to get there. It could. This is the number here, the 9,500 here. You should just tidy that up a little bit. 9,500. It's all in the details. So Yeah, look, we'll track this A, B, and C here like we're doing with the US markets as such. Once this structure here starts to, you really need to identify wave 4 here if you're going to short this market. So wave 3 should be strong, and then wave 4 and wave 5. And because the shorting of this, you could look at this here. But this will also come down in 5 waves here, and then move up in 3 waves here. And then you can also look to take it out that way. You could probably trade. The other thing here, it may just come back to this little level here as well. So just be careful about that. It may just come back to here. Anyway, we'll pick that up tomorrow. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.